Alright, so I wanted to uphold my promise to keep the grind going. So I'm having a little technical difficulties with one video that I'm trying to post, and that's the video of me actually going down to Charlotte for a concert to support some of my favorite YouTubers. Uh, but in any sense, that video was on the way. In any sense, this video is going to be in regards to the Loc Journey. I have not made a video in regards to this in quite some time. In fact, I believe the last time I did my Locs may have been about this long. I don't even think they were half as long as they are now. But in any sense, a little backstory, just to refresh everybody's memory. This is actually the third time I've tried to lock my hair. So the first time I actually did was back in 2011 when I first met my wife. And she was actually the encouragement that I needed to be brave enough to even do it to begin with. So I went ahead and did it. It was something I wanted to do anyway, but I never had the encouragement. So like I said, she was the encouragement I needed to go ahead and do it. In any sense, I went ahead and did it. And I actually did it for about 6 months, but then we got engaged and started talking about getting married and all that kind of stuff. And then I was still in the ugly phase, and I didn't want that in my pictures. I didn't want to look back and say, so for the wedding specifically, to make sure that the memories were actually something I wouldn't be ashamed of, I went ahead and cut them for that moment. So I went ahead, got the clean cut and all that good stuff. Got married, happiest day of my life, that kind of situation. Then went back to it. I was like, that was actually pretty cool. Wish I would have actually kept them. So I went back to it. My wedding date, of course, being August 18th, 2012. So only 4 months after, because my hair grows so daggone fast, I was able to go ahead and restart my twist. And both times my wife had actually started it. So big shout out to her for her awesome ability. Married woman who's a jack of all trades, if I do say so myself. But in any sense, so she went ahead and restarted them again. And this time I actually got a little bit more encouragement from one of my family members who also had Locs at the time. So I was like, man, yeah, I gotta go ahead and get them back. So, like I said, my wife started them again. And I actually kept them for nearly 2 years this time around, which I was kind of crazy for doing anything other than that to begin with. But the second time around, like I said, my wife started them actually on Christmas Eve of 2012. And then I had a job. Now I'm an ambitious type of person, so I was actually trying to move up and do big things and all that kind of stuff. And people were even saying, hey, you should go ahead and do this, you should go ahead and do that. So I applied for the position and all that kind of stuff. And my first thought was, okay, let me get some tips and tricks from some other people in that position that I was going for. So, and I was like, what do you think would be a good idea for me to make sure that I definitely get this job? First thing out of his mouth was, you should cut your locks. The first thing that came to my mind was, I'm gonna sock you in your face for even thinking about something like that. But I was like, you know what? Unfortunately, in today's society, certain things are seen as bad. Some people view things with the wrong perspective. So I was like, you know what, I think I will take him at his word. So I went ahead and cut him off and all that kind of stuff. Terrible idea. Didn't get the job. Was without my hair that I really missed every opportunity that hair came up in conversation. I missed them joints. So I really wanted to sock the shit out of him for that. But I was like, you know what, whatever. So I ended up actually leaving that job for a better job. And during the first little bit of that job, I actually experimented with different haircuts and all that kind of stuff. I actually did that South of France type of haircut. I don't know how well people would actually know it by that name, but it was kind of like you had a high top fade and you got the sides tapered, and you had kind of like the pompadour, like the old school jokers did in the 70s, like the greasers. I might be telling my age by using all this particular old school, uh, this old school talk and all that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. Uh, and in a sense, younger generations may know it as the Johnny Bravo. You remember he had that giant blonde hairdo. It kind of looked like that, but of course my hair was black, so it's a black version of that. And in a sense, I had that along with the South of France joint, and I was killing it with the points down the side that I actually also do sometime now. And I really should have went ahead and started from that particular look because, as you can see, I kind of did it anyway. But I started missing my locks a whole lot at that point, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grow these joints back. I just got tired of missing them, so I went ahead and, like I said, instead of actually starting from that particular look like I should have, and then I'd be actually be a little bit further along in the process at this point. But I cut all of that off and started from scratch again. So this was around May of 2016. Spent another 3 months. I got a little anxious and tried to go ahead and lock it up in August, just 3 months later, but it's still too short. So gave it an extra couple 2 months. October 2016, started the Loc Journey for the third time. Was killing it. Was like, okay, this time I ain't taking excuse me. I ain't taking no kind of advice from anybody in regards to my locks, except for maybe my wife, of course. That's my number one. That's my that's my rock. She's the only one that can influence me any other way to do something that otherwise wouldn't want to do. And that's the way it should be anyway. But that's beside the point. That's a that's a whole another topic for a whole another video, and that's probably gonna come soon. So be sure to be watching. Uh, and in a sense, yeah. So I went ahead and decided October 2016 to go ahead and get back in the game, enjoy my Loc journey, endured a Loc journey, and 2 years and 6 months now, here I am, killing a Loc game. And this is actually the longest my hair has ever been. So I'm actually a little proud of that too. Uh, and I also, in regards to my hair type, I have a type of hair that doesn't lock easily. So that was another thing I had to put up with in regards to my Loc journey, which was kind of crazy and a little bit annoying, I will admit. But when you're grinding towards something you really love, you are willing to push past the pain, push past your comfort zone and that kind of thing. So and because some say I'm a little bit vain, my brother, and even my mom says I'm a little bit vain, which is kind of crazy. But in any sense, I try not to be, but I guess I really feel myself. But in any sense, yeah. So I normally would never have gone through the ugly phase because I think too highly of myself, but I had a lot of support from the wife, and I went ahead and did it. And now here I am, fully locked, which is what I was talking about in regards to the whole, uh, being patient and whatnot. My hair locking took a lot of patience. It just now fully locked recently, so that in itself was an accomplishment. And I ain't really too much on patience. I had to get a lot of patience in order to do this. But so, in any sense, here I am, fully locked, 100%, 2 years, 6 months into the game. And as you can see, I kind of got a little bold and daring. Never dyed my hair a day in my life, but this time I decided, you know what, I'm going to try a little something different. And this is actually a result of the last time I got my locks retwisted back at the beginning of March. Then I went ahead and got my hair dyed the tips. And I didn't even do all of them because I wanted to see how I liked it first. So that's why not all of them have dyed tips. I just want to kind of jump into it a little bit, get my feet wet a little bit before I go all out and dye all the tips. And I got ones like this that are like super freaking long. So they're actually all different lengths as well, as you can see. But it is what it is in that regard too. Huh? Oh well. But yeah, there we go with the Loc Journey, the Loc grind. Got the Loc gains. And so if you have any kinds of questions, you want to start a discussion in regards to uh, things a little bit more in-depth questions about how I endured my Loc journey, the love, the hate, the pleasure and the pain of going through the Loc journey, feel free to hit me up in the comment section and I'll be happy to take a look and holler at you back. In any sense, it's your boy. I'm going to call it quits for this particular video. And for all you guys, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Because again, the grind has been resurrected and I will stay true to it this time. We're going up, all the way up. And I'll holler at you guys later. And don't forget, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always see when I post again. Holla.